I'd rather not be here this afternoon because I didn't want to say goodbye to Stefan. And since I heard about his departure a few months back, I've been regularly, every time I see him, I make some few sarcastic comments about him. The reason why I do that is because Stefan has become a very integral part, of course, of the organization. And Stefan brought with him a particular type and particular level of energy that we probably have not seen before. He also brought with him the commercial and the financial discipline that is essential to propelling an airline company this size onto the world stage. But despite him having that type of discipline, which is very rare, he was also an extremely approachable person, very down to earth. And I'm sure many of you would agree with that. He was not somebody who sort of was locked up in his office, but it was a very people's person. And for that very reason, I think Stefan made a very quick mark and an indelible mark within the company and also within Fiji itself. So his premature departure obviously is something that we initially were a bit startled about, but we are also very, very happy that Stefan will continue to sit on the board. He'll continue to have that level of influence, will continue to have that ability to contribute to the roadmap that has in fact been highlighted or put in place for the growth of Fiji Airways. Stefan will continue as the CEO until we find a replacement for the company, the CEO for the company. And we of course therefore will be keeping very much in touch with him. Despite the fact he may not physically be here, he will still be with you and with the company. Ladies and gentlemen, as has also been highlighted, that the company has made unprecedented profits. What was highlighted by Stefan was the profit before tax, and he highlighted the profit before tax, and I have the figures here with me, for the group. So the group of course involves Fiji Link, it of course involves the hotel, and the net profit before tax for the group was $60.7 million. But for Fiji Airways itself, it was $65.2 million. So Fiji Airways in fact did overall a lot better than the entire group being put together. So it is a very remarkable achievement, and of course that achievement has been realized because of your ability to work together with your management, the ability of everybody to be able to be refocused on this new brand Fiji Airways that we have put in place. I'm really glad to say that this is really also a vindication. It's a vindication of the decision that was made a few years ago to actually support Fiji Airways' wish and desire to buy 3 brand new A330s. And the fact that we got them partnered up with FNPF, the fact that we are involved in the rebranding of the airline, and the fact that we've been able to put in place a number of legal changes also that has enabled the profit sharing model that you have today. So with the rebranding, with the change in the reforms in the labor relations, today I'm happy to announce that as far as the profit is concerned and therefore the profit sharing, all staff, irrespective of what level they are, right at the bottom level, everybody will get a $3,000 bonus. And this is actually doubling what you got last year. And of course you have the management bonus of $7,000. Ladies and gentlemen, this is unprecedented. We've never had a company in Fiji where the staff, I understand the staff of about 800, 900 staff, where everybody has received a $3,000 bonus. Where everybody, irrespective of whether they're a cleaner or whether they're an accountant, there has been no distinction made in that respect. And you have in fact set a precedent and a model for other state-owned enterprises to follow. And this is only possible because of the fact that you're able to, in the past couple of years, collaborate with the management and come up with your bargaining units to be able to achieve this profit sharing model. So I want to congratulate all of you for helping realize this. And as Stefan said, ladies and gentlemen, there is enormous potential. There is enormous potential. You actually have to believe it. I remember a few years ago when we talked about how and what we could do to rebrand Fiji Airways, what we could do to position our country. There were many people who actually did not believe in it. There are many people who believed that profit sharing was not a possibility. It is a possibility. It is a reality. And what we have achieved today, I even had people who, overseas people who are coming along and telling me what a great airline we have. There are people, however, at the same time, who do not understand the airline industry. And I have to make this point. The other day somebody said in Parliament, they said, oh, why don't you open up the airline? Open up the skies, sorry. Open up the skies. No need to protect Fiji Airways. Let any airline that wants to come in, let them come in. Let them charge whatever airfare they want to charge. Let them do that. Because the ultimate goal is to bring as many tourists as possible. That is a very short-sighted view. An extremely short-sighted view. Because as an island nation, as a country that has 33% of its GDP reliant on tourism, where over 90% of the people who come to Fiji come on airlines, we must have a national carrier. We must have Fiji Airways. Because let me give you an example. If you have other airlines coming in, unfettered, unchecked, with any type of pricing, Fiji Airways may not even exist within 6 months. Now, assuming that does happen, what is going to happen when you have floods in Nandi? Which airline will fly in to take the tourists away? None of them will come in. They'll talk about liabilities. But Fiji Airways, which is your own airline, will be able to take tourists out, will be able to bring tourists in. So we must understand the dynamics of the civil aviation industry. We must understand that all of us have a stake to ensure that Fiji Airways as an entity, as a company, must survive. It must do well. And we must all work together to ensure that it does do well. Because if we are in it for the long haul, we'll all benefit. We'll increase jobs, we'll be able to increase more bonuses, we'll be able to increase better terms and conditions, but in a collaborative manner. And that is very, very critical. So ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I want to thank all of you for your contribution, for your participation in this vision. You know, as you may have seen, we have the Foreign Minister of UAE. UAE a few years ago, only a few decades ago, was a desert country with a creek running in through it in Dubai. They had a vision. They had a goal. They wanted to make themselves the hub. We have the potential to do that because we are blessed by nature to be put in the center of the South Pacific. We are blessed to have a good crop of people. If we compare ourselves to the rest of the fishing travel countries, we must take advantage of that. And this is the vision we must have. And this is the vision the government has. And we must all work together to ensure that we are able to expand ourselves and really position ourselves as a true hub of the South Pacific. I would like to thank the board, of course, for their work, their contribution, them working together with Stefan. And once again, I'd like to thank all of you for organizing this function for Stefan. It is wonderful to see this farewell for him. Stefan, once again, I'd like to thank you, both personally and as Minister. You really have been a breath of fresh air, and you've been wonderful to work with. And I wish your level of dedication and loyalty to Fiji is something that could be emulated by many other Fijians. So thank you once again. As many of you would know, he's going off to Berlin Air, and we wish him well in his endeavors there. And who knows, maybe one day Berlin Air can fly or code share with Fiji Airways. So thank you very much, Stefan, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.